You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. I mean, today we are discussing the one, the first, the only Elvis Presley and his birth chart. So I am Fox Red Sky. I am your astrologer, your soul coach, and I am the host for Astrology Obsessed. Be sure, if this is your first time, to like, comment, subscribe. And again, if you're interested in one-on-one private readings, there's a link below with my way to book me. So what are we discussing today? We are actually discussing Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. So yes, Elvis was born January 8th, 1935 at 4:35 a.m. in Tupelo, Mississippi. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. So yes, our Elvis Presley was born in Mississippi at 4:35 a.m. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about the big three: sun, moon, and rising. So our sexy Elvis Presley was a Capricorn sun, a Pisces moon, and a Sag rising. So let's talk about first our sun sign. So his sun sign, Elvis Presley, was a Capricorn, and his sun sign was in the second house. So that is amazing. This means that he had a huge capacity in his lifetime to generate wealth, to build wealth, and he was a wealth machine. You know, he could really, his sun in Capricorn, which is very business-minded, is thinking, like, how can I, and they have great work ethics. They sometimes can work themselves to death, Capricorn sun, so be careful. They don't know how to take breaks, they don't know how to set limits and really provide self-care. If you're a Capricorn sun, you know, it's about, try to find a balance between work and home. It's really, really important for your health, for your mental well-being, all these things. And Elvis seemed to have the same problem. Elvis didn't know how to balance work and play. He really threw himself and he overexerted himself in his work. But he came out with so many hit songs, so many movies. Yeah, I mean, he was the king of rock and roll not for any reason at all. So the next sign is the moon in Pisces in the third house. This is a beautiful placement, and I'll give you several reasons. First of all, your moon, your inner world, Pisces, he was an old soul, and it really came out through his art, which was the third. So the third house has to do with communication, it has to do with media, it can deal with music, it can deal with writing, it can even deal with television and film. So having this Pisceanic moon in the third house, he was really able to captivate people because people felt his rawness, his authenticness, and it came out through his music, through his movies. So very soulful, very soulful. Now, what is this Sagittarius ascendant? What does this mean? Well, Elvis Presley definitely liked to have fun. People with Sagittarius rising tend to be very youthful throughout their whole life. It's like they have the eternal youth button. They love adventure. They are all about just like fun, you know, and they can be a little bit of troublemakers, and they can be a little bit too straightforward and blunt, kind of say things off the cuff that could really hurt someone's feelings if they're super, super sensitive. So. But let us talk about the king, Elvis Presley's love style. So how does he fit in with our love style meter? Let's see what that says. So Venus and Capricorn in the second house. Wow, hello, 2 planets in the second house. Bling, 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 number signs, ATM machine, ching, 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 ching. So, but let us talk about his love styles. Tradition is very important to Capricorn Venus. Long-term marriage, these are very important. Status is also important. They can't just be married to any old buddy. They have to be married to someone who is going to make them look good. And having the partner that they can rely on and share their love through building an amazing life. Typically, Capricorn, Venus, they're looking to be for that power couple. They really, really want to have that. They have very high standards, and if you don't meet them, well, they tend to hire and fire their lovers. Okay, I'm guilty of this. If you fall below their standards, they will let you know and give you the boot. So let's talk about Elvis Presley's libidos, his drive, the force behind him, and oh my God, does he have a force behind him? Mars in Libra, get this, in the 10th house, destined for success. You have 2 planets in your 2nd house in Capricorn, and your Mars is in Libra in the 10th house. These people are so driven. They have like an amazing libido, by the way. But the bad points of this is that they can also not make up their mind. Damn you Libras. That Libra Mars energy has a lot of partners because it's like, well, but the grass is always greener on the other side, you know? They love intelligence and beauty. So it has to be beautiful beauty as well as somebody witty, somebody funny. You know, looks are important to somebody with Mars and Libra. Don't get me wrong. But they also want someone they can have a conversation with and laugh with and be silly with. So it's really important as well. So yeah, just, you know, I know that I didn't want to go into his full chart, you know, but I just wanted to kind of highlight the most important things. Important things I wanted to highlight about Elvis Presley's birth chart. And there's 3 things I want to highlight. 1, Sun, Mercury, and Venus in the 2nd house equals cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. This person is destined to generate tons of wealth through art, through music, through speaking, through actually using their voice. And this is their passion. And they're really able to capitalize in this lifetime. Elvis was able to capitalize on his voice, on his looks, Venus, on the way he appeared in the 2nd house and really generate long generational wealth. Number 2, Jupiter in Scorpio in the 11th house. This means Elvis Presley had a ton of powerful connections, powerful alliances, and powerful friends. So it wasn't just the fact that he had a lot of talent, that he was the first of his kind, but he also really had a lot of important connections. According to his chart, this is what this means. And third but not least, he had Saturn in Aquarius in the 3rd house. So what this means is having a Saturn in Aquarius definitely means that in his early life, when he was young, he might have been very aloof and kind of shy. He didn't really want to speak in front of a lot of people, or he didn't have the confidence. Now, of course, over time, he totally, you know, outgrew this, but typically people with this placement tend to be a little bit, have a stutter or shyness, or may not actually speak confidently in public. So what was Elvis Presley's soul's lesson? Well, I think and this is my opinion, his soul's lesson, what he was supposed to learn in this lifetime, was to take care, to learn how to practice self-care and balance work and home. He was not able to do that because ultimately he didn't really take good care of his health. He had, and where I see this in his chart is Neptune in Virgo in the 9th house, so where he hyper-focuses on it, and maybe he was given the wrong advice on how to take care of himself. He had wrong kind of influences. And Neptune is, you know, when it's not in the right placement, tends to be kind of like believe in fantasies and not necessarily reality, like real facts. Like, well, of course, if I eat 10 peanut butter sandwiches, that'll be good for me. No. And in Virgo, so having to do with the health, having to do with the gut, all those things. So I really think his soul's lesson was to learn to love himself and to balance work and home. So anyway, I want to thank you so much for listening. If this is your first time to my channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're looking for a private reading, you know where to go, astrologyobsessed.com. I'm sending you all my love. God bless you. Mwah.